Plan is to get the broadcast started formally and
Whee!
respectably. I'm Monkey Business, and joining me is Brad Muse on commentary and interviewing with two of the presumed stars of the Buffalo versus Boston 7v7 Ground War Revival event, the main event of the Casa Block Party. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for showing us this wonderful art of Cheezy T,
Ooh,
who
so
we're going to
clean.
be. Isn't that clean? Got the Buffalo FGC jersey on. That is the same jersey that Cheesy wore to Boston 2 years ago to Red Bull Conquest.
Yo, I'm gonna
And
just say though, the Buffalo Boston rivalry in the chat been going, and I'm gonna start this straight away. One of these two players getting interviewed in the slideshow is holding one of those ECT records, and
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, but the other player is holding the 1v1 record between us. Well, let's not talk about that right now.
Okay, okay.
Let's get
I'll
into
give
this
him that.
interview.
Also, the record is for Street Fighter 4.
Oh,
is that
To be
true?
fair.
Yeah.
ECT
Yeah.
records for Street Fighter 4? That's
Yo,
lit.
depending on who you ask, that's the last good Street Fighter game.
Oh,
Cheesy T,
God.
No.
Cheesy T,
But not me though.
tell me what you think you could do with Laura against Alex Smith's Abel in Street Fighter 4.
Oh, God.
Yo.
Yeah. Listen, Alex and I remain friends because we don't play each other anymore. Let's just say that.
Yo, the next time we see each other though, we should play.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know,
I know what to expect now, so
Uh-huh.
should be
Yeah.
alright.
Okay.
Alex was pretty
Look.
hostile with me post our game and tournament. I believe I double jeopardied you at Summer Jam,
I was
I
hurt.
think it was.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah. You
it's
were a
very,
jury
very good
slash
to.
parent at the time.
Yeah, now it's all jury, I believe. Isn't that right, Alex?
I still play both characters really,
Oh.
but I'm playing way more Jury.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, that,
almost like if I'm playing Karine, it's just
Stay
a spur of the
faithful.
moment
Stay
thing.
faithful.
I mean, you can see Taka's faithful. Laura, even since season 1, and in the profile picture with your wife right there for sure. The
And ups and
definition of
downs,
loyalty.
I took a break from her. We needed each other's space, but now we're back in action, ready to. Well, we can't 7v0 this with the format, but we can do something close.
Yo,
Yeah.
as a
Oh,
fellow Laura
man.
player, I'm curious, what season did you take the break?
Actually, the season that she's quote unquote her strongest this season. I took a 2-month break. I started learning Grand Blue. I started learning Matera.
You
I
think
thought it
she's
was
stronger this season than season 2?
season 2. Do I really go into this spiel? All right,
Yeah.
season 2, she was really strong. We all know about medium kick. She got
Yeah.
quality of life buffs that she needed, and the game changed, which changed in her favor. Once people actually learned how to play Guile and Akuma, she was like, if you put her in top 5, she was 5. I can go into deep discussion if you want, but let's just say
I've
she had
already
no-
thoroughly dismantled any plans Matt had for this interview.
No, it's all good. No, we can keep this train going because I'm interested actually. I'm with you on that actually, Taka. That on season 2, other characters were still rocking throw loops. Laura
Right.
lost her back throw loop and then was facing throw loops from half the cast.
Season 2 is definitely her strongest. I'm not gonna deny that. But to say that she was like broken is definitely not the case.
Oh, she wasn't. She's never been.
And to say that she didn't get stuff she needed outside of the medium kick being the frames that it was,
5 to 7.
it's definitely she had no low string. She had no way to get through fireballs consistently. Yes, Command Throw did not go through fireballs at the time. You only had EX Elbow. In a world where people were doing meterless DPs, getting meter like the instant they touched you. So EX fireballs stopping us in our tracks. The fact that IDOM or anyone beat any Ryu player at any point in time just amazes me.
Taka, I hate to break it to you, but Alex Smith definitely reps the meterless DP even still in 2020. We saw plenty yesterday on Casa. We were discussing who might be the best player to run it back with GZT because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Boston's afraid of the Laura, especially when we were considering running first to 1. Thankfully, it is first to 2 with Seda now. But when we were thinking first to 1, we were like, it has to be Alex Smith and he has to DP you every time, right? There's no one with faster DP in the whole Wild East over here in Boston than Alex Smith.
And then, mind you, I didn't even own the game since season 3. So all the frame data, all the matchup knowledge, I just learned from secondhand. So like,
oh yeah. So this kind of ties into your origin story then, which I guess I can get started asking you about.
Yeah,
I
sure.
recall watching your origin happen on stream. I was in Geneva at school at the time, but you showed up not owning the game yet in season 2. And tell me the first person you played a
The
Buffalo
first
Red with.
person I played on stream for my first time playing the game against another human being, besides the person who got me into the game, was Jug, which at the time was our best player in the scene. Clearly, the odds were definitely against me, but I went into it with the same mindset that I go into every game is I don't know this person or how they play, but they don't know how I play. And we had a nail biter, but it ended up winning, and it was pretty sick. And then the reactions from everyone kind of took me by shock because I didn't know how big of a deal it was for me to win that.
Yeah, just so thoroughly unexpected. I remember mouthing off in the chat like, "Yo, what just happened?"
So from then on, I went to make everyone in my path rage at me, not question shaking my hand. Yeah, Sanford, Alex, Zap, a lot of people I've taken
Yeah,
I've taken their souls.
frustration's a big part of the game, any fighting game really, but you've definitely learned how to maximize it. You can optimize frustration causing strategy just as much as combos, and I'm
Right.
sure you're going to let him know tonight in the 7v7. Um,
Hold
but
up, though.
Hope so.
We're gonna talk about frustration causing strategies.
yeah, we are.
I one of my earliest of one of my fondest memories of playing Alex at a Super Bowl tournament. I don't know if he'll remember this. He was playing X-23 in Vanilla Marvel
Oh
3 at the time.
man.
And I was already tilted from a salty tournament loss that day. And he just in my face was doing DP into dive for 30 straight seconds. Because I just kind of was so tilted, I forgot push block was a thing.
I'm
Oh
sorry, Brad.
boy. Well, Brad, I
But
mean that's a rough first impression.
oh, yeah, no, well, it's not a first impression, and in fact, it's an embarrassing story for me to tell on myself, but to go over when I entered the community, because you're hyping up your boy, I'll hype up Boston too. But Alex
Yeah.
had been a mainstay, in so much as I'm aware, from when I came in. So what about you, Alex? How did you get into, the greater FGC?
How many years we going back, Alex?
Quite a
Let us
few.
know.
I know you got some like deep Guilty Gear roots. You got some UMK3 roots.
Yes, for sure. Some of my earliest memories playing fighting games were in the arcades. Back in the arcade days, there was an arcade in Hadley, Massachusetts called Dream Machine. I love that place. It was for me. It was the highlight of the what we would refer to as the golden age of arcade times. I played a lot of Mortal Kombat there, a little bit of Street Fighter. I met one of my closest friends there actually to this day, Ben Mortel, known by a lot of people in the scene as Bonj. I've been friends with him for over 20 years now. So shout out to him for being an amazing friend. He told me about Guilty Gear back when Guilty Gear X was the current game. From there,
Not even XX.
nope,
All
Guilty
right,
Gear
cool.
X. This is
Damn,
before
that's
I
old.
played competitively.
Yep.
But that led me to enter a tournament at Anime Boston in the mid 2000s. And from there, I met another friend known as Fosno, Ira Lee. Shout out to him. And he told me about Dustloop, which is the community site for Guilty Gear and by now some other anime games. And through that site, I connected with local players in the Springfield area. I ended up going to a casual session hosted by Gonzalez. Shout out to him. Met a whole bunch of players, started going to tournaments, and it's been over a decade since then. That's really how I got my start.
Thank God for anime convention tournaments, right? With their
True.
weird rule sets and like I'm sure I mean there can you tell me any kind of like funny stories about bizarre mid 2000s early tournaments that many people don't even know existed, like rule sets and other kind of
Oh
circumstantial
man,
hilarity?
anime conventions have kind of a strange middle ground between casual and competitive play. So sometimes you get really unusual rule sets, for sure. It's hard to think of any right now.
Yeah, I definitely put you on the spot with that
Yeah,
one.
sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. So as we talk about anime convention tournaments, that's basically, like a kind of once in a long time kind of tournament. But I want to go to weekly locals now and steer as fiercely as I can towards this question that really lets us get to know you, I think, a little bit more than it lets on. I want to talk about food.
Ooh.
Every FGC has a spot to feast on occasion, and every local FGC also has the kind of regular spot. So, Taka, do you want to talk to me about what you eat before or after locals, with or without people?
All right, stream, it's time to chill. My boy Juan has the best burritos on the market. Juan Ritos is the thing that I love to eat.
Absolutely.
Basically, before, during, if I can, after, if the funds are, if I'm feeling, if I'm equity, if I got the equity, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting
you win the tournament.
So this is what I get. He has breakfast versions. He has the dinner. He's got the mac and cheeses. Oh my god! So when Juan finally comes to two locals, because it's not every week. I wish it was, but every week when he comes, he's our resident King player, by the way, big time Tekken head, and he's also really, really good at Pokken. But he cooks us some homemade burritos. They're outstanding. They're only $5 a pop. Mad, just so good. He actually brings a bunch of ingredients like by hand. Sells us drinks, all this stuff, man. It's literally like I need to make it in the FGC so I can get this man a food truck so we can just take the world by storm. And when I'm not eating that, we go to Game On. This should be our land center. They had some chicken fingers. That's my backup plan when Juan doesn't grace us with his presence. Chicken finger subs, chicken fingers all day. I'm a plain guy, so I only get barbecue, but like you got all the fixings, everything your heart desires.
Yeah,
Chill
yeah.
over. Pay me.
Definitely.
That was hella chilly, but I want one of these burritos.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we have any promotional deals with Juan right now for travelers from Boston or beyond to get half off or first one's free or something. That might be fun though.
I should have gave you guys the picture of him in the burrito outfit. It's actually epic.
Yeah. The man's a burrito enthusiast and we're blessed to have him. Community supporting community is the proudest thing we got. That's where we're trying to get going here in Casa, raising already over $1,000 for We the Protesters while also giving our players something to be excited for. Reigniting the regional rivalry that I remember was the kind of climax of the Game On era. You were talking about the chicken finger subs we used to have at our old venue, Game On. I remember going to Red Bull Conquest. Ripple, the owner of Game On, actually drove with us, and it was his first time kind of coming with us to an out-of-state or even out-of-city event. And he got to see Buffalo like so thoroughly win on the grandest stage that we had really had together at the time, and it was right before Game On closed. So in my heart, that's like an incredibly important chapter. And even just thinking of chicken finger subs reminds me of that story now, a story which I'm sure we'll get more exposure to once we roll the promo video at the end of the interviews. Thank you for reminding me to do that, I say to myself. Speaking of reminders, I have to talk to Alex Smith about the best feast he's ever had in the FGC.
The best feast or my usual feast?
First one and then the other.
Oh, okay. I would say the best one I had is when Kane Blue River took us to a ramen place in Las Vegas during Evo. I will never forget that black ramen, black garlic ramen that I had at this one place.
And so KBR specifically
amazing.
Already knew about it, or did you get amazingly lucky?
He had the connect somehow to some awesome place, and he told us, you have to check this place out, and it's so good. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Maybe I can look it up as I'm talking about some other things and get back to you on that.
Yeah, doesn't that make you appreciate it a little bit more, though, not even knowing what it's called? It makes the memory matter a lot, right? Knowing you won't be able to get it again.
Yo,
the name wasn't as important as the food itself.
Right.
There's a How I Met Your Mother episode that's all about one of the characters trying to find the first burger place he went to when he first moved to New York. And he has no idea what it is. He just knows what the door looked like and that it was the best burger he ever had. And the whole episode is them hitting every burger joint in New York. and everyone else being like, "This is so good," and he's like, "Yeah, but this ain't the one."
It sure isn't, right?
There's kind of
Buffalo
like
is
a
a
myth
feast spot
behind it.
too with K Cafe. After seasonal tournaments, we definitely all like pre-order at K Cafe. The woman that owns the restaurant knows us by name. It's a great privilege, I'm sure.
Love that woman.
Absolutely. So, and do you have like a regular spot or routine meal, Alex?
Usually, our locals are at Balance Patch, the place in Boston. Shout out to Balance Patch, by the way.
Yeah.
They have sandwiches there, and in addition to the venue being really good, the food is too. Um, the the sandwich that I usually get is called the Gobbling Gannon.
Yeah, the names are ridiculously
Yeah,
good,
they
by
have
the
all
way.
these funny
So
video
good.
game related
I
sandwich
like
types.
cheesing the boss. Cheesing the boss is just the
Cheesing
best
the boss. I haven't tried
name.
that one. The Goblin
What's the
Gannon
spicy
one
one
has
called?
spicy one.
Isn't that the Ragnaros?
Yeah, kimchi
Might be right.
Ragnaros. I'm all
Yeah.
about that one too. It's an extensive menu to explore, never too expensive either. That's bars. And I don't think I've had the
You
whole
just
thing
that's
yet.
bars yourself?
Yeah. Good.
Called out.
Oh, I'm taking charge. Yeah. Um, and I think Balance Patch might be reopening. So if you want to stay 6 feet apart while you have a nice meal and maybe even play video games from safe distance, that is an option available to you now for whoever's interested. So as we prepare to actually play the exhibition, I'm going to take you out of the mood and ask you guys what you like to do outside of competing in fighting games.
Okay, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, just to alternate. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the most part, like I didn't really come into the FGC as like a fighting game. I actually was playing at the time Hearthstone and Rocket League, and I still to this day play Rocket League at a high level. Even though I use keyboard and mouse, which the game actually tells you at the start not to do. But yeah, I play Rocket League, Hearthstone. I stream obviously. I'm not gonna show my stream because I'm all out of show right now. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. With everything going on now, all the outdoor activities are kind of gone. But for the most part, it's just streaming, playing Rocket League, playing Final Fantasy, and then Grand Blue Versus, and then Street Fighter when I'm in the mood.
So when not competing, practicing, and also playing other stuff. That's cool. I've seen you play Rocket League on the stream. I'll show that for you. BFGC Cheezy T on stream.
Yeah.
Now you're not supposed to use keyboard and mouse in Rocket League?
No, the game literally tells you that the game is optimized for controller. I mean,
Wow.
you can use keyboard and mouse, but there's only like maybe 2 pros in the entire Rocket League scene that use keyboard and mouse. That are
so maybe
like,
that's why I've always been bad at that game every time I've ever tried it.
Yeah, I actually started playing Rocket League because a Hearthstone tournament got canceled, and so we all just bought the game and learned. And the moment you learn how to fly, it's like I've never done crack cocaine, but I'm pretty sure it's the same feeling.
Cool. I mean, I hate to say it, but that single point of praise got me interested in crack cocaine because I love Rocket League. So thank you.
You heard it here first, y'all. Buffalo FGC.
Go ahead, Alex. What do you do when you're off time? How many lines you doing over there?
Oh, 0.
Absolutely 0.
Well, I've been playing video games since I was a kid, and I still enjoy playing them casually, even though I have more of a focus playing fighting games competitively. I love RPGs. Actually, Final Fantasy is one of my favorites as well. Secret of Mana is another favorite. Suikoden.
Ooh.
I got the PS4 Secret of Mana thinking I could play it 2-player like the old one, and I was thoroughly disappointed, unfortunately.
I didn't know that you can't.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry to bring a sad thought into the stream.
It is sad, but there's always the Super Nintendo version.
Yep.
Yeah, in general, I like video games of all different genres. And the work that I've been doing is related to video games as well. I'm an arcade technician at a restaurant, bar, and arcade in Hadley called The Quarters. We're closed for the time being, but when we're open, we usually have about 20 retro machines on the floor. We got Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, NBA Jam, Miss Pac-Man, Arkanoid. I love that place, and it's really a treat to work there. And beyond that, I mod, repair, and build arcade sticks and controllers.
So
Not a lot of
when
people refer to me as the arcade stick guy, from Massachusetts.
for the
My
whole
hitbox
state, yeah.
only works. My hitbox only works because you have fixed it.
Thank you. I'm glad it
So
still works.
and it's very important that you play this role because knowing that Taka's on the other end, the chances of a stick hitting the ground at high speed have never been higher. So Alex
Oh
Smith is
man.
at the ready to fix up any stick problem you have, presumably. I mean, thankfully I play pad. I only deal with degradation and not actually fixable issues. I solve my problems with $60 at a time once per year because my God, do I break the pads quick. Not on purpose either. I might have to switch to stick. That way I can use Alex Smith's services.
Let me know.
Okay. Yeah, definitely will.
So
Definitely will.
outside of gaming, my passion is music. I really love music and pretty much everything related to it. Playing music, collecting albums, going to concerts, talking about bands, all of it. And I've been playing guitar for a little over 20 years. I play in a metal band called Vacant Eyes.
Ooh, this sounds like a segue. A good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been getting ready to release our first full-length album, which is entitled "A Somber Preclusion of Being," and
A
that'll be out.
Wink,
somber
wink.
conclusion of being.
Yeah, that'll be
Cool.
out later this year. We're gonna announce the release date and a whole bunch of information and the new song on Tuesday. But I understand that you have a clip from
Of
the
some.
opening track on our album.
We do indeed have that clip at the ready. And given some communication, we can all be quiet and listen to the sample. If
Are we ready for that? Oh,
I think it's happening. Yeah.
Do we have a moment?
Oh my god, that time signature change. That was bars.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That was like the most that anything can actually literally be bars.
Yeah.
thank you.
Actual genuine bars of music. You could put that to a sheet, enjoy it. The atmosphere in that was incredible. Not gonna lie.
Thank you so much. That's
I
a
think
song called.
everyone's hyped. Everyone's ready. I think.
All right.
We should
Yeah,
get this thing going. They're antsy. They're
Yeah,
waiting.
Tuesday we'll have way more info, and the rest of that song, actually, I should say, the entire song will be out,
yeah.
streaming everywhere. Um, we've got social media. It's for pretty much everything. It's at Vacant Eyes Doom. Um, the name of that song is A Colorless Eternity, and it opens the album, which is 6 songs and about 75 minutes of music.
Whether it's the album title or song titles, they all have these epic poem feelings, right? The language of the titles are so grand. It feels like the biggest thing in the world, and I love that commitment to that language.
We don't shy away from it, We we're just trying to be as open and honest as we can be about the feelings we're trying to convey and about our music.
That's
So.
good because dishonesty is going to be the most important strategy going into the 7v7, which I think we're going to get started right now. That's a segue
There we go.
into the action. And I want to thank you guys a bunch for coming on for the pre-show. We might even hear more from you later. I'm sure you have more stories to tell, and we even have more questions on the prompt we didn't even get to. But it's definitely been a great interview, and I've enjoyed having both of you on.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now go get some W's, unless you're on Team Buffalo, in which case.
Cool.
I've heard that before. We'll see.
Look, Mass has been the punching bag in the chat all day.
Yeah, I mean, talk is cheap though.
Yeah,
Let's talk
cheap.
more rock.
I thought you were saying Taka's cheap. Cheesy
yeah,
cheesy
I thought that.
I mean,
first
Cheezy
one and then the
is
other.
Undoubtedly cheap.
Yeah, and so is
in
talk.
In a good way.
Yeah. We'll leave it all on the grid. Let's do it, guys.
As we heard from one of our competitors yesterday on Casa, no need to talk. Let's do this. See you in a couple minutes, folks.
Yeah.
Awesome.